Welcome back. My name is Heath, and in today's episode I would like to share with you the colorants and dyes I use to mix with resin. Before we do that, I would like to mention a channel that I find very interesting. The name of that channel is NV Woodworks, Zach Higgins. If you haven't had a chance to check out Zach's channel yet, I'll place a link to his channel below in the description box. Zach has tons of videos, wood, resin related. He also has a website where you can purchase pin blanks and such if you're interested in looking at that. Recently, he released a video using pine cones and resin. Made a really nice bowl. Cool project. Zach, thank you for sharing. I'll have to try that out sometime. Let's move on to the colorants and dyes I like using to mix with resin. Okay, so let's talk colorants and dyes. What do I use to mix with resin to create blanks similar to this? I'd like to start out with the Pearlescent. This is an excellent product in my opinion. It's powdered pigments. They have a huge variety of color choices to pick from. This one is sapphire blue. This also is sapphire blue. You'll find that they have the smaller 3-gram containers, and also this one would be a 14-gram container. Normally I'll do a small test pour just to get an idea what they're going to look like. Here's another example. This one would be called Pink Flamingo number 684. And also Misty Lavender number 688. The next colorant I'd like to point out is an alcohol-based colorant. It's called Alcohol Ink. It's a Jim Holtz Ranger product. This one is watermelon. I also have citrus, and if you remember correctly, this was used on the first video I'd uploaded to YouTube, Sailboat Blue. I enjoy using these as well. They seem to create a translucent look when mixed with Alumalite. The next dye or colorant I'd like to point out is the Alumalite dyes that they offer. This one is a yellow dye. Also, I have a green dye and a blue and red Alumalite dye. They also offer, I think it's 4 choices out of the Flow lineup. This one is Flow yellow dye. More of neon colors in the Flow lineup, I believe. Also an orange, a violet, a white, and they have other color choices. I'll put a link to the Alumalite website below. Go over and check that out. They have a form over there. Answers a boatload of questions that you may have. I have a few pieces in front of me just to give you an idea how I incorporate colorants and dyes into my blanks in order to turn things similar to this. I have a lidded box here. Used Alumalite orange, Alumalite white, and I also used a product that they offer called Pearlescent Powder. I mixed with the resin to create, basically it's a similar look that the Pearlescent offers. If you'll notice here, kind of gives that pearly look to it. Maple burl, small lidded box. Another piece here, small hollow form. I used Pearlescent Misty Lavender on this piece with a white Alumalite and of course Alumalite resin, maple burl, small hollow form. I also have a few blanks in front of me here. This piece here was used with of course Alumalite resin. I used the alcohol-based ink watermelon in this case, and I think I may use that for possibly a bottle stopper maybe. Another example here, I used alcohol ink on this as well, Sailboat Blue. This would be maple burl. I left the bark on the edge here just to see how it turned out, give you an idea. This one here is Mallee Burl. It's an Australian eucalyptus, I believe. I used white Alumalite, blue Alumalite, and a blue Pearlescent in this piece here to create this blank. Not exactly sure what I am going to use these 3 blanks for. These were test pieces just to get an idea. This one I may cut down the center and use as possibly a pin blank or maybe a handle, or I may just decide to use all 3 of them for paperweights. Really haven't decided that yet. You'll notice I have a few more pieces here. I also like fiddling around with stabilizing wood, and here's just a few examples as far as what I've done so far. All 4 of these pieces are maple burl. I used a blue Alumalite to stabilize this piece, red Alumalite to stabilize this small piece, And in this piece, this will be my next project. I'm hoping to get a video of casting this piece. Again, maple burl. Probably square this up. Pick my colorants I'd like to use and mix with resin, and of course make a nice square blank, possibly a lidded box, maybe a small shallow dish. I'll wipe some denatured alcohol on this just to give you an idea how the colorant really makes the figure pop. Here's an example of a piece I turned recently. I used blue Alumalite and stabilized the piece of wood before chucking this up on the lathe and turning down this piece. Let's pull out some denatured alcohol. I'm going to show you the figure on this piece just to give you an idea of what the colorant will do with the figure. It's amazing in my opinion. It really makes the figure pop. It's almost an addiction. I'm somewhat embarrassed to mention that, but I truly enjoy playing around with the stabilizing process. A little bit of denatured alcohol in this one as well. This was red Alumalite. Again, it really just makes the figure jump out. And this one was blue. Used a blue Alumalite to stabilize this piece. That's pretty much what's been going on in my shop. I wanted to share those things with you. This is a short video and I do apologize. I want to thank everyone for their interest, their likes, and of course the subscribers I've received over the last couple of weeks. In upcoming videos, I would like to share with you the stabilization process that I go through to, of course, come up with things similar to this. I'd also like to share with you how I create my blanks in order to chuck up on the lathe and again turn something down similar to a lidded box or maybe a hollow form. But if this is something that you may be interested in, please click like and subscribe. Share if you would like. Until next time, have a great week. Thank you.